Alright, welcome back. I cannot help, it's 480. Rarator says he can't let anyone stream, and this is what KrisCardiac's seems to have it set on, so it's going to be a bit grainy. Kris the Undead versus Rarator the Skaven. Both teams have qualified for the elimination portion. This is the final match of round 4. It looks like it's going to be the Undead versus my team, the Cult, and Witch Hunters versus Skaven. Should be two interesting matchups. I think those are better matchups than the opposite. We were talking about it. Skaven, a lot of them use poison. I don't think they want to see the Undead. They're pretty much hard counter them a bit. I think the Skaven do worse against the Undead in general. They don't have good armor bypass, really. I mean, you got Sorcerer's Curse, but with the Undead being able to take Talisman on everybody, kind of counters that a bit. So they don't get any perforation weapons. The Black Skaven can take Fighting Claws, but that's about it. I mean, once you kill him, they don't have much else. So Witch Hunters do have the Immaculate Flesh, but no one ever masters that or really bothers taking it, honestly. And everyone on the Witch Hunters, of course, is susceptible to poison. And so we'll be facing the Undead. We're immune to terror, basically. I mean, basically. We're not completely, like my Marauders have to worry about it. Mutants definitely have to worry about it. But our henchmen could give a shit. Possessed don't give a shit. We have good armor bypass. I think it'll be good. It'll be good. I think both will be really well matched up. I think it'll come down to who gets secondaries, really. From what I understand, if you take Wordstone Rush, you can get a point. If you take Marked, you get a point. If you take Crush, you get 3 points. Obviously, trying to take Crush is very risky. So I think most people take Wordstone Rush or Marked, but I don't know. It depends on the map. I mean, the Skaven might go for some Crushes. In theory, they should be good at it. This is why I usually come in late. I mean, there's no let all the units get placed. I don't remember Pillagers. Obviously, he's dispersed, but is it dispersed first times 3? It might be. Because Scavengers is dispersed versus the cars. So this might be dispersed first times 3. I think the Skaven get double secondaries on anything accomplished on Pillagers or the Cache, which is a pretty nice reward. I'm pretty sure they've gotten 3 extra secondaries with that reward. The Undead got a bunch of free marks for killing Impressives. And yeah, the stream dropped. There we go. The Mercs, I know, got some free secondaries if they pick random. And they get a secondary off of the random. They got a free one. So that was pretty nice for them too. I've been having a tough go with this stream so far. Even at the 480p. I think it's because he's cycling through the spawn points really quickly. Obviously, Kris has a very defensible location here. It's a question of will he just stay here or will he go after one of the groups of 3? If I'm Kris, well, if I'm me, I can't camp. It like hurts me. It's painful. So I would go after one of the groups of 3. Boy, man, it's chopping a lot, isn't it? Looks like it just died. It's not even red anymore. Okay. It looks like he is hunting for some fur meat. I'm thinking a dagger isn't his normal weapon of choice. Has he not scouted the deployments? You'd think he'd know where they were. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not very familiar on this deployment on Merchant Quarter 2 Pillagers. I feel like, yeah, they're up and to the right here. I think they're up over by this wagon. Up here to the right. But he's got his real weapon out now. Man, I just love the rank 5 warband start. It's so much nicer. Actually having necromancers and zombies, it's so much better for the undead. He's taking the truck nuts. A little scrotum totem. Nothing like working a long shift, coming home and playing Mordheim immediately. So Chris's mind is probably barely functioning at this point. Really good morale for the undead. 196. You have to kill his entire team, huh? I guess because he has so many ghouls. God, it's been a while since I've seen Chris. He has 2 thralls, a poison wind globadier. Does he have a necromancer in there somewhere? He must. I just can't see its icon. Must be under there. I think he's got a necro. I mean, everyone's taking a necromancer with his team. Which, I mean, 2 thralls I think is a given. I think you're going to take 2 thralls no matter what. And then you could argue Poison Wind Globadier and a Doomweaver with 5 ghouls. It may have been something I thought about if I was the undead. The Necromancer's nice. He just takes forever to get online, and he's not that offensive. Like, he's a lot of dead weight for a lot of the match, but he does do some... The Call of Vanhel clearly is a pretty good spell, but... I mean, it's not really offensive, though. It's a buff. So I guess in a way it works a lot like a Warrior Priest. I've seen some using him as archers. I believe King Jiggy was. I believe Karin did that in the rank 10 tournaments. So you can almost use them as archers for some offensive output. And of course they have the Dirty Touch. I believe it's called Rotten Touch. I mean, yeah, the The oh god, guys, I have this way up. The health absorption one. I can't fucking think of. I've very rarely played the Undead in this game. I'm not a big fan, so I'm not familiar. I don't even think I took one to rank 10. But there's the Necromancer spell that absorbs the health. I don't know what it's called, but it does some decent damage. It's just red pill expensive. I just want to say, awesome job, Undead. When the teams were first being made, no one's like, oh, look at the Undead. They're just going to dominate. And they have, man. Golly. Chris Chu has gotten like an insane amount of crush their wills. Like, holy shit, man. Him and Marlos are like the crush kings. And Chris has been playing amazing. Ainier's doing really great as well. Bubs. I mean, it's just a solid, strong team. They had 6 players, which was pretty nice, too, that played every week. Jiggy was a good pickup. But the Undead are tough to play. They're very tough early as well. They start to get better once you get the Necromancer and other units online, but shout out to the Undead for doing so well. Same with Skaven. I mean, Skaven are a really tough warband. And the Undead and Skaven both made the finals, so I remember making the video when it first came out, the teams and whatnot, and talking with Hole Poker and others, and everyone's like, oh yeah, the Sisters and Mercs, they look really strong, you know, they're going to make the finals, and neither team did. It's kind of crazy. So much for predictions. I mean, I was cautiously optimistic. I didn't know. The only person I knew on my team was Paranoia. So I got to say, awesome. You know, I'm a cult team member, but so I'm biased. But again, awesome work, guys. I don't know if I don't know if other people would say in chat or whatever, but when you looked at cult, it was probably like, oh, these guys don't have a fucking chance. I'd imagine. I don't know. That's what Clyde and Hope, other people were kind of saying. They're like, oh, good luck, Kitten Paw. And we did it. So shout out to my team as well. I mean, the Witch Hunters, whew. Obviously, they're the #1 seed, but they've had a lot of players, a lot of chances for secondaries. They have a lot of good teams. They're really strong top to bottom. So when like Dig and Quist are like your 4th and 5th best players, I mean, that's a really good team. So I think going into this tournament, they're going to be the favorites, just because they're so stacked top to bottom. Yeah, I wanted to say this kind of on Discord, but since some people, you know, it's like really good job to a lot of the new players. Like really, really good records for a lot of people who people wouldn't have predicted that. So I think you could see a lot of growth too. When you think back to like the first cycle, you'd watch some of your teammates play. Oh, I remember Marlos's first match even, and I'm like, what is this guy doing? I think it was against Yarek or Andre or something, and he had the secondary completed, and then he killed himself, and he could have won the match like at 5 different times, and you're like, what is my teammate doing? And then I look at his warband now and how he plays now, and there's been so much growth in so many players. It's really cool to see. Wow, he caught him. Shurikens have a increased ranged hit chance, I believe, when you're in Overwatch. What is Mr. Unclean doing? He's got Mastery Exhaustion. That's really cool. Oh my god, I've been like, that's been one of my most frustrating things. If you guys know how I like to play rank 10 warbands, I fucking love mobility. It's what I train more than anything on my warband. And it's been killing me not having any exhaustion or any clawed feet. My team is so goddamn slow. It's a pain in the ass. So I'm finally training up some exhaustion here with the getting ready for the tournament, and it's like so nice to finally have. It's such an important skill. He just blocked that unit in there. Maybe we could jump down from the bridge though. Like I look at my mutant archer. He for some reason he can't even get knowledge in wartime. I must have fucked up. He only gets 8 intelligence. So I must have fucked up somewhere because I thought he'd get 9. Wow, Mastery Daredevil. That's really unique on a vampire. He's going after the range guy. I like this aggression. Because he is split up, so take advantage of it. I like, see, look where he used his exhaustion. He gave himself the most mobility with the blue circle. It's really well done. He's like, you're going to shoot my rat? I'm going to catch you in the window. But yeah, so my little mutant goes nowhere. It's just, it's so frustrating to have 6 movement. Like, holy shit. It's really and then you see like the Poison Wind Globadier sprints across the map. This guy starts with 7, the vampire. I've always wondered why they get to start with 7 mobility. And it's really, really cool to have some mobility. You can do so much. I think that was a really good... Chris has been playing such a strong tournament. I've been so impressed with his play. Like, that's exactly what you do. Like, you're not afraid of warp guards. You identify a very important target, you go after, and you kill him. This is the opposite of camping. I mean, this is exactly what you do against someone in Pillagers. Because these guys are way over here. Now they're Skaven, so they'll move more than most. But we know it's a henchman, 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 and then 2 henchmen. So we know all the important units are to the north. Like, there might be another hero here, but we see all of the henchmen. So it's going to be a hero, and then there's a group of 3 of heroes and leaders to the north. So there's a lot of information that KrisCardiac has at his disposal now he can work on. I think you could just totally pressure that point still. You don't want to leave your vampire on an island. I think you start to bring henchmen down. Yeah, mobility is so important in PvP. So important. It literally does win games. It's been so frustrating for me to have a slow-ass warband. Yeah, I remember doing PV before I played tournaments and other humans. I remember being like, why would I ever take exhaustion? This looks like a dumb skill. Who takes adrenaline rush? Why would I hurt myself to do damage? And now it's like, what was I thinking? Every build was just like maximize parry stance and dodge stances, you know, and that just totally fails when you play an actual human being. I don't think Chris actually cares about Wordstone Rush. Unless they can get an extra PvE. I think someone hit rank 6 this round by getting all their PvEs done. Was it Witch Hunters? Maybe it was Witch Hunters. I really am jealous of the undead. They have such good rewards. Being able to share their potions amongst their heroes is so fucking powerful. God, it's so powerful. So like your vampire, your thrall, and your 2 thralls, all of them can have two potions. It's just so strong. And they also have the ability to take a hero out, right? Which, I don't know, that one never really made much sense to me. I don't know why you'd... It kind of hurts yourself, too. I mean, the idea is that your henchmen are stronger than other teams' henchmen, but I thought Undead were notorious for having shitty henchmen, so... That is so big. This is why Skaven don't want to face Undead. Yeah, that was it. That's his only attack. It's going to be a problem for Skaven. Skaven are so countered by the Undead. I've lost every match against the Skaven, meanwhile. As the cult, I do not want to face the Skaven. They really fucking counter us so hard. They really do. I see you. What the hell is that? I think it leaves a trap or something, doesn't it? I never have seen this used in competition. I mean, that's pretty funny. I think it debuffs initiative. I bet she's going to take mastery exhaustion eventually. But that's, again, that's perfectly... You see how he goes to the edge of the circle and then uses it so he can then come out and then use the steps? This is what you got to do. Like, that's time... Oh, can he get in there, though? That's annoying. He barely missed. If he'd only maybe pulled back a little now, he could have gotten it. Maybe. Oh, maybe that's what he just did. God damn, Chris. Next level shit going on here. Did you see? So that gave him that smidgen of movement now, and he's going to be able to get into contact now. I mean, Chris is playing really, really well. Plays really, really well, man. Yeah, I think you keep going south. Obviously, he's bringing the troops south. I bet his heroes aren't going to go this way. They're going to go south the other way. It's where the fight's going to be. So there he is maximizing movement by dropping the blue pill there. It's exactly what you do. So now you have all this bonus movement. All right. Well, he looks like he's going to try to cut off the reinforcements now then. Yeah, with all the mobility Skaven get too, he'll be running through. Pretty sure Rarator has an assassin adept leader. 2 Eshin sorcerers, poison wind globadier, and a black Skaven. I don't know. It's going to be an early lead for Chris. I don't think that poison wind globadier is going to do anything to the vampire. He's going to have to switch weapons because poison won't harm them Will he get a melee attack off? I mean, the vampire's out of the parry stance, so if he gets lucky and lands some attacks, it's probably going to be like a 40% hit chance. But then the poison wind globadier's going down, followed shortly by this guy. It'll be a 2 versus 1. Missing. He only has 3 red pills. What the fuck is... Oh, did he take the reward? Is that the reward? Where you drop a henchman? Was I thinking about witch hunters? Witch hunters get to drop a hero? I'm so confused. I thought the undead dropped a hero. And the witch hunters get to drop a henchman because they have such terrible henchmen. I don't even... What? You literally take 1 less hero? I've been misreading your reward this whole time then. I thought you dropped a hero and take a rank 0 hero. Okay, I thought you got like a rank 0 hero. So you drop a hero. Why do you get a rank 0 henchman instead? That doesn't make much sense. I don't know. Okay. But you have to drop a hero? Look at he's moonwalking. Oh, whatever. So, I guess Rarator, it's a 9 versus 9, I guess. And the poison wind globadier is already dying. We've seen this guy, so that means he has a hero and a leader coming from the other flank. Wait, why is it a 10 versus 9? I am so confused. I don't know how the rewards work. So, Rarator has to drop a hero and a henchman? Like, that doesn't even make sense. You guys get an extra unit? And then Rarator just had to drop one and doesn't get to replace, or he gets its. I don't know what's going on. You drop a hero, so you get a 10 versus 9 immediately. God, I fucking hate the cult's rewards. We have the shittiest fucking rewards, don't we? We get to take a demon that kills us. Or pick full random where we can't fucking plan anything. It's great. Not only do you get to spread the potions among your heroes, you get that. Plus you got all your free marks by killing impressives. Like, holy shit. Whatever. I have shitty heroes anyway. Actually, it would benefit me because I could take the impressive and a hero. An impressive and a hero is probably stronger than 3 impressives or 3 hero. I don't know. I'd have to look. It actually benefits me because I have 3 here. I have Pumpkin, the Archer, I have the Rat, and I have the Marauder. My problem's been finding a 4th hero the entire fucking league after Peaches died. So I'd be like, oh great, this fixes all my problems. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I'm in the rare position of having 3 level 10 heroes, but not 4. So you'd be doing me a favor. I'd be like, whew, finally, I don't have to worry about fielding that 4th hero. And conversely, I think it works against the Witch Hunters too. Wait, what's the Witch Hunter? They just drop a henchman. I think it helps me against Witch Hunters too. Because then I could take my Lad's Got Talent Dark Soul, because I've had 5 Dark Souls, so it's like, oh good, I can drop a Dark Soul and bring my Lad's Got Talent Dark Soul. Problem solved. Wow, 70, that's not bad for a rat. A Poison Wind Globadier. 15 damage isn't going to get the job done. I mean, you guys use your strategy. Our strategy consists of, do I take a random map or not? There's our level of strategy. Do I want to totally fuck myself over and get stuck in a sneak attack or not? That's our strategy. Is a coin flip. It has just as much chance to fuck us over as it does to help us. So it's really neutral. It's not actually a benefit in any way whatsoever. If you consider a third of deployments are neutral, a third are disadvantaged, and a third are advantaged, it's neutral because it's just a coin flip. And if I actually analyze the deployments, there might be even more deployments we wouldn't want versus that we could get from a random. You know what I mean? So well, it's interesting call with the Weeping Blades. I mean, he has a lot of ghouls, but it was kind of a ballsy pick. If you have Weeping Blades against a vampire, it's not going to do anything. So this is the ghoul he switched weapons with, which made his turn suddenly a lot slower. The thing is, I think it's this 47. This guy can attack twice and then switch weapons to go back up the initiative ladder. Yeah, this is the problem with attacking into a henchman with all their red pills. He's going to hit you over the head. He doesn't have an extra red pill because he switched weapons. He should have switched weapons and maybe adrenaline rushed. But there's no way for him to know that this rat would have been on him. Does he have enough for sidestep? I don't know what any of our rewards are made, not for us. I don't know who they're fucking made for. Maybe like high initiative, high mobility, but I mean that's totally random. If you get mobility or not, that's due to mutations, which I have, in theory, no control over. So It's interesting he did not frenzy. I mean, I guess he's playing it safer now. This rat's going to have a fear and terror test. This guy's in perfect position to jump down and start shooting that guy in the ass. I think he should go after the assassin adept. Just use the steps, go out the back door. There's no back door. But you can still keep the blue pill if he wiggles right. There. Now he's in cover. Yeah, go out the back hallway. No, I don't think you'll have an angle there. No, just go out the back door and shoot him. You should have a pretty good hit chance if you just go out the back door, man. No, don't! Oh my god, paranoia here, trying to get headshots. Just hit the guy 4 times. Paranoia, stop it. Paranoia. Oh, Chris, I was complimenting you so much, too. And then you pulled that off. Sometimes you don't want to get cute. You just want to do damage. Headshots on units that are engaged in combat is not a good idea. That was not mathematically sound. He'd have been way better off doing aims. Just regular attacks and aims. Do the guaranteed damage. Like, this guy wasn't even in a stance. Like, why are you trying to headshot him? I just don't understand what he was trying to accomplish there. Seemed really silly to me. Why is this guy using a dagger? The dagger is the worst weapon in the game. Oh, he looks like he's a crit build. Okay, that's why. Well, you got the crit. Even then, I'd rather take a sword. The sword does more damage. I believe that it's the passive that the rats get, right? They have a passive where if they equip a sword or dagger, they get extra crit, and the sword does extra crit as well. So I don't really get the point of the dagger. Or is it fighting claws or a dagger? Is it fighting claws or a dagger? Either way, take the fighting claws then. I mean, I don't know. Well, Carrion's dead. I wouldn't give a shit about him. I would just... So they're back here. You can keep moving away from them. Take out this sorcerer. Just cut your losses there. Continue to take out his warp guards. I mean, he should have just shot that guy 4 times. The assassin adept would have been half dead already. You got to start pressuring all these warp guards. Yeah, I should have just taken fighting claws then. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have purple fighting claws. The dagger is just such a piss poor weapon. It does so little damage. A purple dagger is like a blue axe. A lot of indecision from Chris here. So, one of these henchmen's rank 0? Is that what I understand, Ainier? Or am I just retarded still? Like, I don't have any rank 0 henchmen, so I'd obviously have to hire one. I cut a hero, but what about the henchman? I have to hire a rank 0 henchman? I don't understand. Clearly. Or does he get a bunch of rank... Does he get... He gets all rank 10 henchmen and you get a rank 0 one? How is that a benefit? You must have a rank hero's henchman, right? We have to cut... Okay, we cut a hero. Both teams cut a hero. But then I have 5 rank 10 henchmen and you have 4? I don't... What is the advantage? We must have to drop a henchman too or something, right? Oh, you put it in the upper slot. I got it. It goes into the hero slot. Okay. So you pop it in the hero slot. I gotcha. I forgot you could do that. So I can keep my same basic henchman. That hurts. I really love the debuffs. Disease Carrier, it's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. I like ghouls a lot. I really do. See, hopefully that takes away his initiative. When you use Strong Blow with that, you could really fuck up the turn order. What's the Nether Reaper going to do? I think she has to go after the... She needs to go after the Sorcerer. Blast through the parry. Did I see a Jaw Strike? I've seen a lot of Jaw Strikes on teams, and the Sisters did not qualify. It's kind of sad to see all the Jaw Strikes, but no Sisters. And the Warlocks are gone now, too. Like, I guess you could Jaw Strike my Magister. You could Jaw Strike some Warrior Priests, maybe. Yeah, Crimson Shade that shit. Is she already faster than them? He's playing a conservative at the door. This guy was not in an all alone. How's he not in an all alone? I wish I was high. I've been sick, man. I spent all day yesterday trying not to vomit. I went to bed at like 7. I was supposed to work today. I had to call off of work. I woke up at 3 a.m. and then went back to bed at 6 a.m. and then woke up again at 9 a.m. It's like a lost day. I may as well be fucking high. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't have an all alone. It was really weird. It seemed buggy. You know how you know when I'm sick? I've barely had any coffee today. I've drank enough coffee just to stem off a caffeine withdrawal headache. Chris should see what disease carrier this guy got. He should see the debuffs he got. That'd be the first thing I'd check once I got disease carrier, or see what debuffs he got. Because you might be able to change the initiative order. The undead are the kings of initiative manipulation. They're so good at changing the initiative order. With Call of Van Hell and with disease carrier, staggering blows, switching weapons. I mean, they're so good at jumping around the turn order. And then on top of it all, Karn gave them all Crimson Shades to the heroes. So they're so fucking good at messing up the turn order. Yeah, so Megalomaniac does not give you immunity to all alone. Megalomaniac just makes it so you can't disengage. It turns you into a Templar without the benefits of a Templar. Templars are notorious for not being able to disengage, right? So you can no longer disengage. I guess it turns you into a ghoul, really. Well, ghouls are immune to all alone. What can't disengage but isn't immune to things? He should be hunting out the sorcerer with this lady. Has he spotted the sorcerer? Yeah, you don't want to put heroes against henchmen. I'm surprised he couldn't go and find the sorcerer. Well, don't leave her there. She'll get shot, potentially. She would have been perfect to find the sorcerer with. Oh, yeah. I forgot there's two. Yeah, I don't know. Does Megalomania make you all? Oh, you guys got me thinking now. You better put him in cover. He'll die to a couple pistol shots. I like the black skin. That's the way to go. If you're going to dress your ghouls, dress them in black. He better go cover his Poison Wind Globadier. There's two fast heroes right there. He might have a stuck PWG here shortly. If this guy doesn't go ambush the house that the Poison Wind Globadier's in. Because that ghoul is dead. It's going to die to poison. Remember the Weeping Blades? I think it's dead. He doesn't even have to attack it again. He's abandoned his Poison Wind Globadier to the assassin. I think he's going to regret this move. Yeah, he died. So it's up to Mourner to cover the Poison Wind Globadier. Well, he's really abandoned the Poison Wind Globadier. The assassin goes before him, so... I mean, Chris started out the gate like gangbusters, but he's gotten super passive now. I don't understand it. Those headshots were a very bad decision. And he's not, like, it's obvious that those two guys are kind of by themselves. You could have sent your whole squad after him. And disease carrier again. You can stack it 3 times with a one-handed weapon too. He's got taunt? What are you doing, bud? Taunt? Interesting. I guess that's for when units enter a stance to get them to attack them. I guess. So he can counterattack. But I think you'd want to take taunt on a melee resist build. Like, I would think you'd want to use feint and then taunt. Feint is a skill you don't see a lot of times. But feint gives minus 25 for basic and minus 50% hit chance for mastery. So you could use feint and then use taunt. And then the unit has to attack you, I believe. Oh, is taunt to just make delays longer? I was thinking about threaten. What is the point of taunt then? Like, who is he? Why does he want delay? Was that for a maiden that never showed up? He's taken jaw strike and he's taken taunt. Chris is definitely ready to fight the sisters. I told you thought was fucked here. Really, really bad idea leaving his Poison Wind Globadier alone. Chris even left him against the wall where he can't disengage. This is a big loss if you only have 3 heroes. They'll have traded Poison Wind Globadiers. Rarator doing some kind of math. Yeah, time to heal, time to throw down poison. You may as well heal. Poison's going to do more than that. You can't take the healing with you. I mean, you can attack a couple times. That's not a lot of damage. Like, if you had just shot this guy with shurikens, he'd be so close to dead. Rolled 100. You may as well use the healing pot. Yeah, may as well heal. But this is what we said would happen. If he should have brought his zombie up here to protect this guy. He needs to kill this guy now. He needs to enter frenzy. Frenzy or daredevil, like, kill this guy now. I don't know why he insists on not taking frenzy. Take frenzy. Great hammer ain't gonna do shit. That looks like a purple great hammer too. Or a blue. Or maybe it's purple, I don't know. If it modifies the damage once you put it in your hands. So if you'd taken frenzy, this rat would be dead. Instead, it's not dead. Really, really odd choice. So not only did he move all his units away from this Poison Wind Globadier, he doesn't really have anyone to attack now. It's just a really interesting choice to do that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how people wouldn't have purples at this point. In my last PvE, I was killing henchmen and they had purple weapons on them. So, like, purples are everywhere now. You should now, that said, I'm missing some purple armors. I'm missing one purple heavy armor, which is kind of frustrating. But vast majority of everyone should have purples on. Okay, well, these two are not going to go anywhere for the rest of the match. I mean, this is a win for Chris. Rarator just tied down one of his warp guards into a skeleton that's worth 0 morale. So in theory, you traded 0 morale for something worth morale. Now, Chris would like to kill this guy, but you only have X amount of melee units if you're Rarator. So this is one less unit that can protect your Black Skaven or your Sorcerer. Touche, he does have the idol, so he is, in theory, worth morale. I don't know why he put so many units over here, Chris. He put so many units over here and banded his poor rat. It's really, really weird. Now this guy's got to run through the poison a bit. This guy just took 30 plus all this poison. He's taking a lot of damage to kill this rat. Immediately crit. And of course the Vital Strike doesn't crit, because that's how the game works. You've got to kill this guy. I mean, come on. These rats were critting the fuck out of me when I fought Rarator. And the Demonette. That's crazy. A leader and a hero couldn't kill a Poison Wind Globadier. I mean, I guess I'm used to Cult, where we just, like, rip shit apart. But you got to get some better damage output on your leader and your hero, I would think. There's a sorcerer you should have tied down with your other thrall. Fails to cast. He's casting with guns on. That's a recipe for disaster. It's like watching Steiner cast with his daggers. Past the 25. KrisCardiac hasn't been using the overhead map for a while. He has not tried to scout out this sorcerer, even though he spotted a couple rounds ago. This is a high priority target right here. Make sure you when you engage him against the wall, though, make sure you do it at the proper angle. Otherwise, he'll get away. It looks like he's inside that house climbing the steps. Oh no, he's out in the hallways. And this is why mobility is so important. Again, I don't know why I didn't just use Frenzy. This rat would be dead. And this guy could be chasing after the sorcerer. Like, he'd be dead. He'd have all those blue pills. He would easily catch this sorcerer. There's a jump down right here, and he could easily catch him. Set him up for next turn. Use a Crimson Shade. Just absolutely wreck him. That's such a juicy hit. This purple axe, man. He's also not checking the debuffs he's getting. You might want to use Insult as well. He's not using frenzy. I don't understand what a lot of what Chris is doing here. He has all these skills and he's not using them. I don't think he had a 95% hit chance, so he passed both tests. Well, you're going to take the thing you sorcered cursed? Isn't that why you did it? At the same time, the vampire's not in a stance, so. Missed a 78. Switch to the halberd, add rush, and then another attack. I think she's in a web of steel, though, isn't she? You can't. Well, only 36 parry. It's a pretty poor parry chance. He's going to have a poor parry chance with the halberd. Well, that was damage Chris didn't have to take if he just used Frenzy. Instead, he took extra damage on Demetra? You're 58. Wow, that's a really bad parry chance. I don't know about that. That's going to do 20 self-damage for 10% more armor absorption. If you're going to do that, he should carry a Mandrake root. I mean, I like the Crimson Shade, but you should stack that with Mandrake roots. Oh, reduces parry too? Okay. Shot him. Well, you can catch him anyway after all the delays. But again, I don't know why he didn't Frenzy from the get-go. Can he Crimson Shade as he check the initiative order? Maybe he could jump ahead of this guy? No? He passed the terror test, so that didn't work, the terror bombing. Isn't there a warp guard right down here? Oh, it's gone now. Well, this is where mobility is so fucking important. Right here, you're about to see it. He's going to be able to corner the sorcerer. So it shouldn't be able to disengage, but we've seen this rat get out of tighter situations. Well, I really wish he'd done more to protect the Poison Wind Globadier, and he had just, instead of doing 33% headshots, would have just done some aim shots and attacked him. Like, these two are tied up now. That one died. This one's going to die eventually. That one's going to die. I think things are looking pretty good for Chris. It's just going to be a black rat and the assassin left to kill. They're pretty damn squishy. Okay, this one, I guess there's a free warp guard right now. What does this guy do? Because 2 of them are tied up. This one's tied up. No, 3 of them are tied up. So he's got 1 free henchman left. It's right there at the cart. Running around. I think you could see him kind of there. This one's tied up. This one's going to die. This one's going to die. So this is your last chest piece. This is your last little pawn. Where are you going to put your pawn? 100 out of 95. Now he's going to get a counterattack. Good melee resist. He lands it. Do you want to attack again? I guess he does. Oh, this is the low level guy. That explains that. I was like, man, he just took a chunk of his health down. It also explains why he had such a shitty hit chance. It's not. Look at him. 2 for 2. It's not good melee resistance. It's just a rank 0 hero. Switch weapons. Do a dodge stance. What is Gunk Splitter? I mean, what is this guy doing? The sorcerer's dead. Why are you committing more resources to a dead unit? I mean, I don't understand it. Gunk Splitter should have been going after the assassin or the Black Skaven. Pass the fear test. He needs more dismay weapons. It'll be interesting who Chris is paired up with. There's a chance it's me versus KrisCardiac. I'm an absolutely terrible player, though, so I might be like our 3rd or 4th ranked player. So, good for me, team captain. I mean, I wouldn't mind fighting Ainur. I don't know who I'll be paired up against. Maybe we'll just put captains against each other anyway. I'd love to play Ainur. But Chris is their strong number 2 player. Maybe it'll be me versus Ainur and Paranoia versus Chris. Steiner would be a really tough 3rd. That's for sure. And I think Marlos is a really good 4th player for us. I think we're really strong top to bottom. I think that's something that's really to our benefit. He failed one. There you go, bud. Yeah, that's what Karn said, but he also waited captains. He's had this wait for captains the whole time. Will you insult this time? Insult? Frenzy? Alright, he's dropping the hammer. Well, the axe. Okay, I figured he'd do 2 regular attacks, but that works too, I guess. Aw, how sad. He just sputtered out of life. Yeah, just go into Web of Steel. Wait, I don't know. I just know from previous stuff I've asked him, like, there's a captain's, like, weight that he's added to our rankings. I was in the top 5 until I just gave up this Crush Their Will to Greybush, because I hadn't given up any secondaries, and I'd gotten 5 secondaries, even though my win rate was pretty trash. The focus on the secondaries had helped me a lot, but now I just gave up a Crush Their Will, which is worth negative a lot of points. It's not good to give up a crush, so it'll be interesting to see how much that drops me, but I don't know, whatever. I think it'll be a good fight either way. Like, I'd feel kind of bad going against Bubs or Chris Chu. I mean, honestly, My team is way better than my record. My record is a reflection of a lot of fucking annoying ass deployments and demons assaulting me. Every match has been like fucking 10 versus 7 for me. I think it puts you guys at a disadvantage if I'm playing your 3rd or 4th ranked player. I mean, that's not really fair, in my opinion. But Paranoia, Marlos, all our guys are ranked 10. I think you guys probably should be too. Everyone should be having full rank 10 warbands. A lot of good skills, a lot of good builds out. Paranoia's warband really impresses me. It's the warband I wanted. It's a really hard-hitting warband. Good mobility. They stun. It's a really cool builds. Oh, there goes the rank 0. Is it really beneficial to bring him? Because now he just costs you morale. Is the loss of this unit worth more of the morale he brought? But then you got to remember it's 40%. In theory, he just kind of makes you route faster. Right? Yeah, I haven't even talked about Witch Hunters versus Skaven. I mean, Jekyll's obviously the I don't know, kind of MVP of Witch Hunters. Okay, this guy is in a lot of trouble. He'll get a couple units onto his combat circle. He's obviously going for the flag. Okay, that makes sense. Getting out of there. Let me think. It's Nanashi, right? You got... Wow, this lady is free to do whatever now. Does this one have basic exhaustion or mastery? Please don't go after the sorcerer. Please don't go after the sorcerer. Chris, you're fucking killing me right now. The sorcerer is dead. It's like that Simpsons meme. It's dead already. He's already dead. Stop punching him. I mean, it's gonna... What are you... Okay, you could have just done normal attacks. Now you gotta do another strong blow. Okay, that works too. Well, it does free up the vampire, which could have had a free disengage or a flee. You could flee because he had ranged weapons, but... So, does the vampire go after somebody? Yeah, alright, so we got Nanashi as the captain. Who was your second in command? It wasn't Jackal. I can't remember who the second in command was. I know you got Dig and Quist. Jekyll originally said he could only play like 8 matches, so that was he was an old rank 10 player, so he was a really strong pickup. Was it Quist? Was one of them made? So you got Dig, you got Quist, you got you, Jekyll. You guys have like 7 fucking players. Who am I missing? You got Valentine. Valentine's no pushover. That's been the Witch Hunters the whole time, though. You have, like, really good team. Yeah, go after the leader, for the love of God. Are you going to take Frenzy? Still no Frenzy? Can you take Frenzy for me? No Frenzy. Oh, yeah, Sassy. God, you guys are so fucking stacked. You guys are so stacked. That's insane that Quist and Dig are your 4th and 5th players. That's crazy. I think that's worth it. I think you start taking consumables and you enter a stance. Take the healing or the Crimson Shade. Why are you not Crimson Shading? I think he could have jumped the turn order. These guys are similar initiative. Really bizarre plays from Chris. Like, what are you saving those consumables for, man? He had 4 blue pills. He only used 2 of them. So he could have either healed to save his life, or he could have Crimson Shaded to jump this guy's turn order. God, there's no way Witch Hunters aren't the favorite. You guys are, yeah, you guys are trouble, man. So we got Rarator, we got Greybush, we got Albro and his Rat Ogre. We got Rain, right? And we got Slavier. Jesus Christ, yeah, Slavier. God, it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight. Kind of forgot the late edition of Slavier. I mean, what do you make Slavier? Slavier should be a captain, but he wasn't going to play the tournament originally. So then what's Slavier become? Is Slavier going to be the 3rd seed? But for Witch Hunters, the 3rd seed is going to be a pretty good player too, you know? So, like Sassy Assassins, I've been talking about some impressive player. You got crit, you got the crit in. Sassy's been really, really impressive during the tournament. Honestly, Nanashi, I think that's cool. I think that would be a fair battle. Jekyll versus Slavier. I think that is what I would do too. Since Slavier, you can consider him the 3rd seed, and Jekyll kind of was too, and neither one of them were supposed to play the tournament. I think that makes sense on a lot of levels. Now, you know, Karn might be like, oh, I have this mathematics system, but I think he should use some of his judgment to base pairings as well. I mean, we've all trusted Karn this far. But I agree. I think Slayer versus Jekyll is pretty fair. And then you and Greybush can play, well, maybe you and Greybush could literally play, and Rarator, or you and Rarator and Greybush can play Sassy. I think Sassy's your 2 seed, maybe even your 1 seed now. Same with Jekyll. I mean, God, you guys are stacked. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, secondaries are going to play a role. So, she has Mastery Exhaustion. This could be where it all ends right here. Take down the leader, take down the Black Skaven. I mean, kudos to Rarator for taking an Assassin Adept, but they are absolute horseshit. They are the worst goddamn leaders in the game. They are made out of paper tissue. %32 dodge. He nails it. Then a miss. This is really all he has to do, though, is kill this hero, and it's GG. Meanwhile, he's going to have to do everything to protect the Black Skaven that he can. Chris had a chance to put both units on both sides of the Black Skaven, preventing a disengage, and he didn't. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. I think he has 2 Thralls upstairs, though, that can come and engage as well. I think this 39 initiative guy can come down the steps or jump down or somehow get involved in the fight. Yeah, what's up, Slaver? Slaver, we want to pair you against Jekyll, so we think that'll be a good fight. This is the issue with rats, man. 19 fucking damage. If you don't have your Sorcerer's Curse anymore, there ain't shit you can do. I think Skaven should be pretty excited they're not facing Undead. With their reward, they can pull off your heroes, and they're just immune to poison, and they cause so much terror and fear. So If you're the Skaven right now, you're kind of secretly rooting for Rarator, but you're also like, all right, this is okay. This is okay if we face the witch hunters. This is what I was talking about earlier. He brought Gunk Splitter all the way over to the sorcerer, and now he's bringing him all the way back. It was like a totally pointless move. All right, I think the RNG's been pretty fucking neutral as an outside observer. It's been pretty neutral. I haven't seen anything too fucking crazy either way. I mean, Roritor's had some bad luck with some hits, but yeah, he also passed some all alones and terrors and shit. I don't know. It's been pretty neutral, and it's never, for me, the RNG where it's like a game changing is worth more than just some random attack for like 20 damage. Oh, I didn't land my mace attack that would have done 20 damage versus that would have been the killing blow, but now you're alive and you're going to get your whole turn. Like, that's a big difference. I mean, we could talk a bit about secondaries. It's going to be a big part of the game, too. So, Undead versus Cult, what secondaries do we take? Do the Skaven go for Crush Their Wills? Try to get ambush deployments? Try to get... Like, one Crush Their Will is worth 3 victories. So it's like, all right, we're getting our ass kicked. Let's say you're losing, but did you get Crush Their Will? You're suddenly... That's worth 3 wins. Like, holy shit. Right? So... Lock in the Black Skaven. Like, this is all that matters, Chris, is this unit. No, no, no! Chris! Stop! I mean, I know his Thrall and Vampire are coming up, but killing this unit is 100% irrelevant. And I say that because if the Black Skaven dies, he literally cannot pass a route test. He has no heroes left. Okay, it's this Thrall anyway, and not the other Thrall. Like, Chris should know better. He should know that all he has to do is kill the Black Skaven and the game's over. I mean, she should have come after the Black Skaven. She could have gone up the steps and attacked, I think. He probably had the movement to get there. Like, yeah, if this rat dies, it creates a test, but it can be passed. This is such an issue for Rarator. Oh my god. I have no idea why he's using so many strong blows. I don't think he's in any sort of stance. So, will he finally use Frenzy? Will he use Frenzy? For the love of all that's holy. Will you use Frenzy? Use a healing potion. Yeah, your leader's in trouble. Oh! Oh! Here it comes. And his obsession with strong blow continues. Now, you guys are math people. Are 3 strong blows mathematically worth the same as 4 regular attacks? I mean, they might be, so, like, what's the benefit? Because if they do 50% more, and you do 3 of them, that's exactly the same, right? Or is he doing less damage than he possibly could? Well, the vampire's dead. Unless he fails the all alone. Oh, he's not in one because the rat came over, I guess. Yeah, so 3 strength blow, deal less damage than 4 regular. Yeah, I feel like 4 regular attacks is better than 3 strong blows. Good God. He is absolutely fucked with that Sorcerer's Curse, man. Absolutely fucked without it. Oh, there's the crit, though. That was inevitable. He has a good crit chance. Again, though, Kris making some silly mistakes here at the end. The one Thrall should have ran up here to try to kill him. I don't think it's not 4.5 though. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to, because the way it modifies is 50%. So let's say you do. Okay, let's say you do 100 damage. Yeah, maybe no. Yeah, I guess it would be right. It in theory would do 50. Yeah. Now, conversely, what I like to do and what I feel like he should have done, and this is better, is just take basic adrenaline rush and then do 5 regular attacks. It's usually what I do. Let's see if Cum Guzzler can kill the Black Skaven. Don't. Okay, yeah. Attack him, break his stance at least. You should really insult, because that helps everybody. He's in a dodge stance, isn't he? Well, that's the game. So good game. Undead winning on a positive note here. It'll be interesting. I would love to face Kris this tournament, man. I haven't been able to face him. I've faced, I think, only Chris and Bubs from the Undead. So. You know, I think I do like to talk about this a bit. I think Rarator had the shittier deployment, obviously. He was split ×3, losing a hero. I think he was at a disadvantage facing the Undead, given the deployment and whatnot. So he did his best. 6-4 isn't bad. But he was definitely in an uphill battle. And best of all, it was a quick action and no desync. So that's what we like to see here. And yes, it is a pleasure to actually stream some matches again. So thanks for hanging out, everybody, and I'll see you around.